All right, guys, Mikey here from Mikey's Iron Rage. And guys, I got another comparison for you, another 2022 Mr. Olympia comparison for you today. And I know I told you guys I'm not going to be making many videos because YouTube unmonetized my channel, but I'm going to do it for you guys. I'm going to do it for all my loyal subscribers, and I'm going to cover most of the 2022 Mr. Olympia, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on the top six at the 2022 Mr. Olympia. Now, this is Hadi Choopan versus Brandon the Beast Curry. And Hadi Choopan took first place and Brandon Curry took fourth. And I mean, Brandon Curry was definitely out of shape. He was definitely the biggest I've seen him in a long time, but he was structurally out of shape. His legs did not match up with his upper body. His legs look like little chicken legs. His calves are very small. His quads are very washed out. His midsection looks very weird. He's getting a little bit of a bubble gut going on. As you guys could see, the right side of his abs are popping out more than the left side of his abs are. And yeah, it all starts with the midsection. And if he had a tighter midsection, he would definitely look better holding the front relaxed. Because if you go back to 2019 when he was holding this pose, he looked fantastic. Hadi Choopan, on the other hand, he looks really good. He's rock hard. I mean, this ain't his best pose, but it's definitely better than Brandon. So if I would give a point to anybody, I would give it to Hadi Choopan. Even though he's using a little bit of oil in the shoulders, I would still go with Hadi Choopan. Now we got the front double bicep. And this was a tough one because I always liked Brandon Curry in this pose because of his silhouette. But that midsection's, I don't know, it's a little too bloated in my opinion. Look at Hadi. Hadi's got a vacuum going on. Hadi's legs are more deeply cut than Brandon's legs are. I think Hadi's calves are a little bit better. Hadi's arms look a little bit bigger. Brandon's arms look very weird. The right arm looks different than the left arm. And yeah, this was one of his money shots back in 2019, but not so much here in 2022. So Hadi Choopan would get the point for the front double bicep. Hadi looks really good holding this pose. Now we got the front lat spread. And this one I'm going to go with Brandon Curry. This was always one of Brandon's great poses. This was always one of his best poses, actually. His midsection, it's popping a little bit, but not too bad. And structurally, he looks really good. Hadi Choopan, he looks good, but he looked a lot better too in 2019. Both these guys looked hell of a lot better in 2019. Brandon Curry ended up winning the Olympia, and Hadi Choopan ended up coming in third and winning the People's Champ Award. So I would go with Brandon Curry in this pose. Hadi looks good, but like I said, 2019, he looked even better. All right, guys, now we got a side chest shot. And this was another tough one because I think that they both look great in this shot, but I think I'm going to go with Brandon. I think Brandon's chest is popping just a little bit more, and he's got nice striations to the chest. His arms look great. Side sweep to the quads look good. But the side sweep to the quads look a little bit better on Hadi Choopan. Hadi Choopan, though, looks really good holding this pose. The silhouette looks fantastic. They're both holding it a little bit differently, but I would give this one to Brandon. But it could go either way, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But I don't know what happened to Brandon Curry, though. He fell off. He totally fell off. 2019, 2020, he was good, but then after that, he just really fell off. The 2019 Arnold Classic was one of the best versions of Brandon Curry I've ever seen. Then the 2019 Mr. Olympia, I would say would be second best, but I digress. All right, guys, now we got a side tricep shot. And I know they're not holding it the same way, but this one's going to go to Hadi. I mean, Brandon's side tricep pose, the silhouette looks okay, but the tricep looks very smooth. It looks like he's using oil in the triceps. Hadi looks just so much drier, just so much more rock hard. Hadi's side sweep to the quads look a lot better. Hadi's side chest even looks a little bit better in this pose because the way he's hitting it, you could see the side chest. This is like a twisting side chest pose slash tricep pose, if you want to call it that, because they're holding it totally differently. But even if Hadi was holding it the same way Brandon's holding it, I can guarantee you that Hadi Choopan's tricep would look a lot better than Brandon Curry's tricep. I don't know. Something about Brandon's triceps, they just look very smooth because at the 2019 Mr. Olympia, his triceps and biceps did not look like this. And even his biceps, they both look different. But I digress again. All right, guys, now we got the ab and thigh. And this was another one that Brandon Curry looked really good in 2019 and 2020 with that V taper and that tight waist, but not so much here. And it's because of his midsection and his waist. It's just very blocky. So he doesn't have that great of a V taper. And his quads are washed out. They're not that big. And that's just genetics. You can't do anything about it. I mean, I'm sure Brandon Curry's been trying to get those quads up for years. But, like I said, it goes back to genetics. Hadi Choopan, he's not holding it the conventional way, but I can tell you right now, if he was holding it the right way, the ab and thigh, Hadi Choopan looks way better than Brandon Curry in this pose. Hadi's abs are super ripped. Absolutely super ripped. The obliques, the serratus, everything looks fantastic. Brandon might have a better V taper, but Hadi has a better ab and thigh. Plus, Hadi's quads are a lot better than Brandon's quads. That's just my opinion. I think Hadi's quads are unbelievably fantastic. They have them deep cuts to them. So all in all, I would give Hadi a point there. All right, guys. Now, we got the hands on the hip, most muscular, and they're holding it a little bit differently, but I'm going to go with Hadi because Hadi just looks a lot drier. I don't know what happened to Brandon. Like I said, I think he just tried to get too big, and he blew out his midsection. But the funny thing is, he tried getting too big, and yeah, he looks big up top, but not so much from the bottom. I don't know what happened. You see, in 2019, his legs weren't much bigger than this, but he had more cuts and separation to the quads. Maybe if he had more cuts and separation to the quads, his quads would look bigger and better, but Hadi Choopan is just destroying him in all the leg poses, the midsection, even the chest. Hadi's chest is striated like crazy. So all in all, I'd give Hadi Choopan the point there. All right, guys, now we get the rear lat spread. And Brandon always looked great in this pose too, but his hams and glutes are down. His calves, they suck, but that's genetics. And his traps, look at the left trap and then look at the right trap. The left trap is down and the right trap is popping more. His lat insertions aren't really there like they were in 2019. And I know I keep bringing up 2019, but that was his best shape. Hadi, on the other hand, look how thick Hadi is. Hadi's lower back looks a lot better. His hams and glutes look a lot better. His calves look better. Oh, man. His lower back is crazy looking, and he's just so thick and dense. So Hadi Choopan would get the point here. I don't know what's going on with Brandon's traps or Brandon's abs, because in the ab shot, Brandon's left ab was smaller than the right ab. I don't know. It's just very, very weird. So all in all, Hadi Choopan would get another point here for the rear lat spread. Now we got the rear double bicep, guys, in the last pose of the night. And you see what I'm talking about the traps? Look at Brandon's traps. Look at his left trap, and then look at his right trap. His right trap is popping more than the left trap is. I'm telling you guys, man, he was fucking off. And he took fourth. Big Ramy took fifth. And Big Ramy won the whole show last year and the year before that. So that's crazy how he could go from first to fifth. And Brandon Curry actually beat Big Ramy out. I don't know. I think that Big Ramy might have been a little bit better than Brandon Curry. But from behind, Hadi nailed it this year. Look at how sunken his back is. Look at how sunken the traps are. And the way the middle of the back ties in with the lower part of the back. And then the hams and glutes just top it off. He looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Then the shoulders are nice and big. Arms are nice and big. So yeah. Hadi Choopan would get the last point here. I mean, Brandon Curry only won like 2 poses out of this whole comparison. And I mean, Brandon, if he didn't try to get so big and he concentrated more on conditioning, I think that Brandon Curry would have placed better. Nick Walker doesn't have a better structure than Brandon Curry, but Nick Walker was a lot more diced than Brandon Curry was, and he was a lot bigger. But I digress. All right, guys. So if you liked the video, which I hope you did, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to come out with a couple more comparisons for you guys and just wrap this whole 2022 Mr. Olympia up. Mikey from Mikey's Iron Rage. Peace out, guys.